The use of wind power has been growing a lot in recent years. Most people recognize that this option works by wind being turned into electricity, which is very readily available resource in Nebraska. However, for this option to be utilized, there are certain policies and regulations that need to be followed. The purpose of this speech is to look at one of these policies, some incentives that aim to promote the utilization of wind power, and finally graphic demonstrations of its impact. To begin, we will look at one recent policy that has been argued in the state of Nebraska. A bill is an idea that is first presented in the legislature but doesn't become a law until it is passed. According to the Lincoln Journal Star, Legislative Bill 824 exempts private wind energy developers from having to apply with the Nebraska Power Review Board, which regulates the state's publicly owned utility facility. The bill proposed by Omaha Senator John McCollister aimed to speed up the process of the approval for turbine installation. This would be possible because the requirement of purchasing an agreement first would be eliminated. He said Nebraska is the only state that has such a rule, putting the state at a disadvantage. An outside investor said that his energy company is developing a lot of wind energy for export in other states, but is holding off on the move to Nebraska's abundant wind resources due to the regulations in place. Others report that eliminating the requirement would help Nebraska lure more wind power facilities, spurring some economic development and diversifying the state's own energy offerings. However, some people argue against the legislature for many reasons, such as Legislative Bill 504. According to the Nebraska Legislature's website, beginning January 1st, 2018, there shall be a 2-year moratorium on the industrial development of wind-generated energy projects and placement of wind turbines for the generation of electricity in the Sandhills. It is evident that with the growing wind power across the state, there will be many regulations that have been and will be processed, aiming to control the way that this option is utilized. According to windustry.org, the cost for a utility scale turbine range from about $1.3 million to $2.2 million per megawatt of capacity installed. Most of the commercial scale turbines installed today are 2 megawatt in size and cost roughly $3 to $4 million installed. Costs that are included with the installation of wind turbines include construction, system upgrades, insurance, or legal and construction fees. There are a few different incentive programs in place that aim to get people to side with wind power across the state. The U.S. Department of Energy has a Wind for Schools project that aims to develop future wind energy workforce by introducing students to the industry. These students at higher educational institutions are able to act as consultants in small installations at local schools. This project is present in 12 states, including Nebraska, Colorado, South Dakota, and Kansas. Another program is Nebraska Net Metering, which requires 25 kilowatts or less renewable energy systems. According to Clean Energy Authority, if you have a solar energy system in place, you get to retain the renewable energy credits that it generates, and credits are carried over onto the next month's energy. Nebraska's program makes utility companies offer payouts at the end of the year for any excess credits remaining. This graphic illustrates the investment that has occurred over the years for wind power. It also highlights that investments have quadrupled since 2010. Next, we have a graph that shows the generation of wind power in Nebraska from 1998 to 2004. As we can see, 2014 has had the most generation compared to all the previous years shown by far. Finally, we can see with this graphic that the presence of wind across the state. The areas with the blue and purple represent the areas with the highest wind present compared to the areas of other colors such as red or white. As we can see, wind power has a large impact on the environment in Nebraska. There are many legislative bills and policies that have been passed while others have been turned down for different reasons. These bills and policies are used to regulate how wind power is used in the state of Nebraska. Along with Legislative Bill 408, there is also different incentives and programs across the state. These programs aim to promote the use of wind power and since it is a very abundant resource in Nebraska. It is very easy to read about these policies and other similar ones across the state. If interested, a good place to start would be on the official Nebraska government website. Wind power is a growing power option. I think it is important for everybody to know the basics of the industry.